Hi, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel, Naughty Gnome Crafts. This is a channel where I talk about my love of all crafty textiles, including sewing, knitting, crochet, and spinning. So in today's video, I'm going to do my November sewing plans. Normally on Mondays, every other Monday, I do an episode of Yarn Talk, but I've decided to skip it this week because I don't have a lot of new things to share with you. I'm just going to push that to next week. Before we get started, I am wearing the Pattern Emporium Keep It Simple Babe tee that I made into a turtleneck out of a rayon jersey from Fabric Mart. Then I have my Paper Theory Zadie jumpsuit out of a linen rayon blend. And then over top, because it's very cold, I threw on my must-have cardigan, which is a free pattern from Patons. I made this a few years ago out of a worsted weight wool. Before I get started, I do want to tell you guys that you need to stay tuned to the end of the video because I have been inspired by Andra from Andra Makes. She does a viewer's choice option in all of her plans videos. And for this month, I'm going to be doing that as well. So at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some options and I need you to help me pick a fabric for what I'm going to make. So make sure that you stay tuned until the end. Okay, sewing plans. So the first thing that I like to do for my plans videos is I like to go back to the previous month and let you know if there's anything that I did not complete from that month. So for October, there was one thing I didn't get to, and that is the Fiber Mood Ermine shirt. I was going to make it out of this rusty colored double gauze, and I just ran out of time. I wasn't able to get to that shirt, and now I don't really feel like sewing it, so I'm not going to put it on my plans for this month. However, we might as well just slide right into plan number one. I am going to use this fabric this month. So because this is such an autumnal color, even though it is a double gauze, which is a very lightweight fabric, I really don't see myself wearing this color a whole lot in the spring and summer. So I do want to go ahead and get it sewn up. And if you watched my pattern haul video from yesterday, you're going to be seeing a lot of these patterns in my plans this month. I purchased the Pattern Emporium Meet You There dress and top. And for this fabric, I want to make a top. However, I'm going to do it a little bit differently than the pattern specifies. So the pattern has you making a peplum top, and I just don't like peplum tops. Like, I don't really have a specific reason why, but anytime I've ever owned a peplum top, it just sat in my closet and I never wore it. So I'm not going to do the peplum, but I was thinking I could just take the bodice and extend it to make it long enough that I can tuck it into high-waisted pants and skirts and just make a blouse version of that pattern. Because what I really like about it is I like the variety of necklines. In particular, I like the high neckline. I like the bishop sleeves. I want to do the 3/4 length bishop sleeves. And if I just have it as like a normal top that I can pull on and tuck in, I think it'll be really easy to make, but very stylish to wear. And it'll go with a lot of things in my wardrobe. I could wear it with some of my pinafores. I can wear it with skirts or jeans or whatever. So I'm going to use this fabric and just make a blouse version of the Meet You There. And I think that'll be a really nice, easy make that I can finish relatively quickly. So that is my first plan for November. So the second thing on my November plans list is I want to keep going with my Sew Over It 1960s coat. So I had kind of talked about this in one of my Friday sews, but I got it to a stage where I had been working on it, and my goal for this month is to get the outer shell completely finished. So that will involve putting in the bound buttonholes, sewing the facing and the collar, and doing the sleeves. So that's what I want to do for this month for my 1960s coat, and I don't have it here to show you, but yeah, I'll just link to that other video. So number 3 on my plans list for November is another jacket. So I had purchased the Pattern Scout Cozy Jacket. And the first version that I want to attempt is the shirt jacket version. So I have a variety of fabrics that I want to use for that pattern, but I think the first one I'm going to go for is this. I think this is a boiled wool, and it's pretty sure it's from Fabric Mart. It's been in my stash for a minimum of 10 years, maybe longer. I really don't remember when I bought this, but it's been around forever. I did something really stupid with this. Because I've gone through periods in my life where I haven't sewn for a few years, and during one of those times when I wasn't sewing, I took this fabric, and because it's a boiled wool, it doesn't fray or anything, and I like chopped off a length of the fabric and just used it as a scarf because I was like, I'm not sewing, I might as well just use this fabric for something else. So I made it into a scarf, and then I never wore that scarf, and I think I ended up donating it. So that was really not a very smart thing to do, because now I don't have enough of this fabric to really make anything. But what I'm hoping is that, so the cozy jacket is a cropped jacket to begin with. I'm gonna try to get the body out of this wool plaid, and like the fronts and the backs, and then probably like the collar. Like, I don't know, I'll just have to see like where I am on fabric. And then I was gonna try to use a contrast fabric for the sleeves. Now, as far as that goes, I have a few options. I have some black ponte, I have some denim fabric. I'm just not really sure yet. I do have some options of like remnants that I have that I could use for the sleeves, but my hope is that I could combine those fabrics, and then when you wear it, it'll kind of look like a vest layered over a jacket. So that's what I was thinking of for the cozy jacket. I hope that it'll work out, because I would really love to use this beautiful plaid and get it out of my stash, even though I did do something very silly with it initially. So yeah, that's plan number 3. So the next plan on my list is the Itch to Stitch Varzeem overalls. I had seen Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery made these overalls, and it made me want to buy the pattern. And the first thing that came to mind was using the faux suede that I had purchased from a recent Joann haul. However, the more that I thought about it, that fabric has a lot of stretch to it, and I think that it might be a little bit too thin and too stretchy for the overalls. So instead, what I think I'm going to use is this stretch corduroy that I also got from Joann's. It's in this really gorgeous rose color, and this has been pre-washed, which is why it's a little bit wrinkly. And I'll have to double check, but the pattern only calls for 10 to 15% stretch. So I think that this fabric is stretchy enough that I can use it for that pattern. So I am very excited about making overalls. I've never done it before, and so I want to make the Varzeem overalls out of this stretch corduroy. So my last plan for November is going to be for a collab project. I'm going to be making this Mccall's jumpsuit. It's 7330. I did have this on my October plans, but I ended up making the Zadie jumpsuit instead. And so I need you to help me with deciding on fabric choice. I purchased 2 fabrics from fabric.com, and I would be happy to make this jumpsuit out of either option. And so I am going to adhere to you guys' suggestion on what fabric I should use for the jumpsuit. Just for a little bit of detail, I'm going to be making view E, which has the short sleeves and a tapered leg. And here are the 2 options. So I've got this baby corduroy or Rifle Paper Company quilting cotton. Now this baby cord is, I'm pretty sure it's 100% cotton. It is basically it's a shirting weight. It's very thin. It's actually thinner than the quilting cotton. I was not expecting when I purchased it for the fabric to be this light, but it is really light. It would be appropriate for any season, depending on how you layer. And so it's this beautiful like icy blue color. So that's option number 1. And then option number 2 is, as I said, a Rifle Paper Company quilting cotton. I just love the colors in this, and I thought it would be really fun to have a jumpsuit out of this floral. And I don't know, like if I made it the floral version, I'd probably leave the pockets off of the chest just because they wouldn't show up anyway. But otherwise, like style-wise, I would probably make them the same. And so I need your help deciding, because I genuinely don't know which one I prefer for the jumpsuit. Just to give you more information, whatever fabric doesn't get chosen, if I don't use this for the jumpsuit, I will probably save this for a jumpsuit in the future. Maybe not this one, but I do want to make a jumpsuit out of this regardless of whether I do it now or later. This fabric, if it does not get chosen for the jumpsuit, I'll probably make it into a dress, like a shirt dress or something like the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra, something along those lines. So yeah, I need you guys to help me decide which fabric that I should pick for the jumpsuit. Just one more time, here's the pattern so you can see all of the things together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a poll in my community tab, and you have to vote in the poll. So if you leave a comment, that's not going to account for the official total. You need to vote in the poll. And I'm going to open it up today and leave the vote open through November 5th. So whichever fabric wins at the end of November 5th, that's the fabric that I'm going to use to make the jumpsuit. So please, if you get a chance, go over to my community tab and make sure that you vote so I can decide which of these beautiful fabrics are going to be made into that Mccall's jumpsuit for my collab. Those are all my plans for November. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate that you take time out of your day to watch my videos, and I will see you next time.